Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, as you can probably tell by the thumbnail, I will be reviewing one of the videos of this particular content creator. She goes by the name of cats underscore classics. She'll be doing somewhat of a tutorial on how to install the rear main seal on her 1967 Ford Mustang. So if you guys enjoyed this video, as always, don't forget to like, comment, share, as well as subscribe. Let's dive right in.
My name's Catherine. I'm working on restoring a 1967 Ford Mustang. So my goal for today is just to take apart the oil pan once again because my rear main seal is leaking. I should have replaced it when I had the oil pan off the first time, but it completely slipped my mind. So today I'm just going to be taking it apart and trying to figure out what exactly needs to be replaced. Supposedly they're pretty easy to replace. You can just rotate them out rather than dropping the whole transmission.
Well, I gotta give this chick props. There's no way in heck I'd be able to tackle such a job like that. She says it's easy, but I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of that as we watch this video further. Okay, so I'm really digging that intro to her video. Granted, I'm not a super big fan of the background music. Obviously, she's limited as far as what music she can use. That isn't copywritten, but nonetheless, I like the whole video montage. That's what it is. It almost escaped me, but yeah, video montage. I thought it was pretty cool.
So I started by removing the cross member from under the oil pan. It's connected by two large bolts on either side of the car. Once I had this out, I then started working on removing the starter.
That is a really nice shade of blue for that oil pan. It's pretty much the same color that I have for my engine and oil pan on my car. The next thing she ends up doing is removing the starter motor, and she starts repeating to herself to not drop it because it's pretty heavy. I think it's about maybe like 5 pounds because I ended up having to remove the old starter from my '70 Mustang out of my car and installing a new one, and then the next thing she ends up doing is removing the oil, like draining the oil from her oil pan. And she says she's gonna reuse it because it's been sitting in the oil pan for so long. To her, it doesn't make sense to put in new oil.
So the oil has finished draining. I'm just going to be putting the oil plug back in, and then I'm going to start taking apart the bolts on the top edge of the oil pan and then just going to wrestle it out. It is a really tight fit. Some people do choose to take apart the steering assembly on these cars before they remove the oil pan. I'm just choosing not to do that because I've done it before without taking apart the steering assembly, and from what I've heard, it's kind of
Pain in the butt. That's why I'd much rather prefer to pay someone else to do it so I don't screw it up. Because it's very time consuming and you have to be very patient. Catherine, if you're watching this video, let me know if I'm right or wrong down in the comment section.
so.
So as you can see, she has a metal threaded bolt for to plug in the oil pan. My car is, as some of you may or may not know, if you've watched the tutorial video on how I was doing the oil change on my '70 Mustang, mine has like a rubber seal bolt looking thing. It was easy to remove, but it was a pain in the butt to like put it back in. Like I think you needed like a special tool, which I didn't have, to plug it back in. So I ended up having to help get my nephew to plug it back in for me. I think it took us like a good 15-20 minutes to put it back in. After that, I just ended up sending the car to my personal mechanic to do my oil changes for me because he has the tool to plug that thing back in.
You don't know the word fun until you've wrestled an oil pan out of a late 60s Mustang.
You don't know the term fun until you start watching someone who's in their early 20s and who's attractive struggling to remove an oil pan out of a late 60s Mustang.
Let go. Come on. Like, Yay!
Yay! So once she's able to remove the oil pan successfully, she then proceeds to get like a socket to remove two bolts to get to the main seal. She says it's a bit difficult. It's a to remove to crack loose the bolts, but she's able to do that fairly quickly.
Okay, so even with those bolts out, the rear main cap is really tough to get off. So I've come up with kind of a plan. I'm gonna be sticking this little dowel, metal dowel, I don't know what to call it, up in one of those bolt holes, and I'm just gonna kind of wiggle it and see if it falls out.
So next in the video, Kat explains to us that there's this metal seal in that thing. It's not installed properly. She says it's supposed to be sticking out 3/8 of an inch on both sides. So she has a new seal that she's gonna install in there. That should help with her leaking issue. That should stop the leaking entirely. As she continues to remove those caps one by one, unfortunately, this happens.
Oh my god!
Not bubbles. That's not supposed to happen. So as Kat was able to make her way to the last main cap, it's actually being blocked by the oil pump, and it's attached to by two bolts, which she's able to remove with ease. She also shows how she's manages to loosen the bolt off the alternator, um, so she can remove the serpentine belt. She's able to slip it right off by hand. Catherine also mentions that you shouldn't use anything like a screwdriver or anything to wiggle or move the crankshaft out of the engine block, because you could potentially damage the thing. And the thing, and she doesn't mention it in the video, but the cost to actually replace a crankshaft, because it's such a crucial part of the engine, it'll run you like around $400 to $500. So you're best to just use your hands to do that.
So I finally got the top half of the rear main seal off, but it did take me a long time. I know for you guys it'll probably seem like it was a couple of minutes, but I did end up having to come back for a third day to try to get it out. So
wow, 3 days? 3? That's dedication for you. But these classic cars, if you like was mentioned before, you really need to be patient when it comes to like doing these jobs. These. Also, I'd like to ask this: why aren't you wearing gloves? I don't know. Seems like I guess she has her reasons, you know. But me personally, I probably would have worn gloves. So finally, she's able to remove all the caps and remove all the seals from each cap, and pretty much scrub and rub all the excess grease. Get it clean. Put this sealant, I guess, to make sure for when she reinstalls these main caps that it doesn't end up leaking again. She mentions also that when she's torquing the the main caps back onto the crankshaft, she has to use a torque wrench, 70 foot-pounds. So that's very important because she doesn't want to under torque it or over torque it because it could potentially break, and she might end up having to do that whole job all over again. So yeah, very very good job. I'm very impressed. In case you guys were wondering, that's one of 3 videos that she uploaded to her YouTube channel. She posts more frequently on her TikTok, which I don't know. I don't use TikTok. I think I'm above it. But yeah, um, overall, I enjoyed that video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that video as well. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, as well as subscribe. Uh, as always, stay safe, stay warm. If you're living in the Northeast, as I am, and stay fulfilled. Bye, guys.